Welcome in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, brought to you by the Paso Robles Inn. Check out PasoRoblesInn.com. Call them at 1-800-676-1713 for accommodations, reservations, and you can play the Paso Robles Golf Club while you're there. We're going to be giving away a package here in the next couple weeks. We'll announce our new contest where you can win a $500 package, golf and a night stay at the Paso Robles Inn and golf at Paso Robles Golf Club. Did you know that that Tommy John doesn't give an F, Bill?
He doesn't give 3 Fs, Mike.
He does give 3 Fs.
Oh, I should read closer. Can we take that over?
Sure.
Go ahead.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Did you know that Tommy John does not give an F, Bill?
I did not know that.
Yeah. They give 3 Fs.
Wow.
3.
That's a lot of effing.
Fabric,
Yeah.
fit, and function.
So they give 3 Fs.
They do.
It's not many companies can say, hey, I give 3 Fs about something.
They got a no wedgie guarantee, a stay put
Did you hear that?
waistband.
We're going to get you a pair of these.
That's awesome.
No wedgie guarantee.
They're luxurious. They're soft.
I can attest to
They're
that.
feather light. Almost like you're wearing nothing, which you probably can relate to, Bill.
I have some experience that way. But yeah.
And they're so confident in their underwear, Bill, that they have a guarantee. If you don't like the underwear, you can send them back. Fully
Used?
refunded. Yes.
Wow. That's got to be a fun department to work in.
But here's what's even better.
Hey, got another pair in here.
Here's what's even better.
Yeah.
You go to TommyJohn.com/golf talk, save 20% off your first order.
You know, all joking aside, and obviously we do a lot of lighter things here. They are amazingly comfortable. For one that hasn't worn many briefs in a long, long time,
Yes.
when I put those on, they are amazing. And I saw the commercial on TV about them giving 3 Fs. I thought.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Nice.
Very cool.
Nice.
So the most comfortable shorts I've ever worn. So and I wore them when we stayed as roomies, man. I had them on
I know.
when we were roomies.
Thank goodness.
Yes, I think so too.
I always get nervous traveling. with Billy
I did
because
that.
I'm like, is he going to get pulled over by security this time?
I know.
Are they going to strip
Whip 'em
search him?
down. But I did. We were joking a little bit about Dr. Ryan and the agony of defeat, but there's very serious issues with feet. And if you're a golfer and your feet are killing you, man, it just takes the fun out of the game. And I know Mike struggled with it, and I know you do wear orthotics. I don't know if that's the right word, but you
Yes.
have things that help your feet. And right before the break, Owen's going to go step on some lumber over here, and the doc's going to explain what he's doing to find out. This is a way to strengthen your fascia.
This is
the supporting group of muscles.
so you're close. You're close.
The
So what?
convenient-
The intrinsic muscles
it's
of the foot.
Yes, the intrinsic.
So when we're working with the foot, one of the things that we have to understand is it's not just the foot. We have muscles in the leg that control foot movement, and then we have the nerve supply from the low back that controls the muscles to the foot. So one of the things that we want to do, and is often overlooked, is making sure a muscle in the back of your calf, called the soleus muscle, is stretched. That has a huge impact on helping with blood flow and the
Wow.
function of the calcaneus, not just your gastrocnemius that most people talk
when you
about.
said it starts and goes up. You have to,
Yeah,
So
no.
how high up could it go? Could the problem be up in his brain?
Now, Billy, you're
his problem.
So I think last time I was on, I had a word for you called hormesis. I think we should throw on another word for you. This one, it's called proprioception. So proprioception, to answer your question, is your body's or
They
brain's.
can't teach that in schools, right?
Right.
Okay.
Now, your brain's awareness of where you are in space. So yes.
Wow.
If your foot,
Proprioception?
yeah. So if your foot's not functioning properly, it's not going to give a proper signal to your brain. And your brain's not going to know where you are, and that could have a huge impact on your golf swing and everything else
Is
that
it
you're
fair
doing.
to say that alcohol has effect on your proprioception?
Absolutely.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
All right. Don't be drinking, Owen.
So what we have Owen doing here is to check out this, make sure that his soleus is well stretched, because a lot of people who have foot problems have really tight calves.
So
And
the soleus is up his calf.
It's the calf behind the gastrocnemius. Most people will stretch their gastrocnemius, but won't stretch
The
their
soleus.
soleus. Correct.
Hate
So-
those people.
So in order to do that, the easiest way is to find a 4x4. And what you do is you put the ball of your foot up on top of it and your heel on the ground. Keep your pelvis straight, and then you slowly bend your knee,
Is your pelvis straight?
trying to get
Because
your
sometimes he'll open. He
Yeah.
opens some hips.
Yeah, no, it
sometimes.
looks good.
At a dress.
and you try to get your knee out over your toes. If you can't do that, that means that the soleus is really tight, and it's going to impact the way the
How's it
the
feel,
foot
Owen?
functions.
So you're to fix the problem that's below that. You're starting up higher because it probably stems from the calf thing, the soleus.
Yes.
and that could affect the fascia.
Yeah.
And all that. The little intringent.
Right. Because
astringent
you have
muscles.
muscles in the calf. You have on the front part of the shin, the tibialis anterior.
Let me ask you, don't mean this to sound silly, but my wife has a little tiny foot about this big.
Uh-huh.
So she used a 2x2?
I'm
serious.
Your goal is to get about at least 3 inches
Because
you want
foot's smaller than that.
Yeah,
but
yeah. You want a pretty
Sorry,
good
honey. I love you, honey.
angle on it. So that stretches it. So you want to stretch the calf. You want to make sure that the bones in the feet are moving properly, and then to strengthen it, which you were talking about when we first came in, is the strengthen the intrinsic muscles. Those things, we were talking to Owen about, is maybe like you throw some golf tees down while you're watching golf at home on the weekend, and you try to pick them up with your toes. You want to use your foot quite a bit. You can use a towel and scrunch up the towel. You can.
You talking about when Mike was rolling over the water bottle and all that stuff.
And that's more for inflammation.
Oh.
You can walk barefoot. You can walk barefoot, but you want to do that on like sand, grass, those type of things. If you have plantar fasciitis or a lot of inflammation, I'd be careful starting to do that because the tissue's inflamed. So you have to be careful when you start doing that.
Plantar fasciitis, you know it.
Yeah.
Right. It's one of those
people wake up in the morning with pain. The walking after a while, their foot feels like it's burning.
So is there? And you've talked about kind of the cure, how we can restructure those muscles and strengthen. But as a lot of people, can they wear something that in their shoes that are going to help stop some of that pain while it's healing, so they continue to golf? I mean,
I think
like Mike, what do you wear? You got all kinds of little robotic things. I saw the room you had those things flinging and hanging on the walls. Then it was like a robot.
I have different kinds. I have the heavy duty ones for work when I'm on my feet a lot that I had professionally made, and they're really big. They're built with like a foam where they actually put your feet in the foam and they set your ankle. And
is
all
that why
stuff.
you look taller?
I do in those. I feel like in high heels.
I
And then I have
wow.
I have halfies or quarters that I use while I'm playing golf.
Nice.
Because the big ones are too big.
Are those things that you prescribe?
You know what? That's something that I actually refer out to.
Oh, okay.
You can do those things. Again, that's not going to change why you're having the problem. It's going to lessen the effects of the problem.
Can all plantar fasciitis be fixed?
Well,
with proper exercise, proper 4x4, proper stretching, calves,
assuming that
can it all be fixed?
The people I've worked with, yes.
Wow.
And I'm assuming that there's no significant anomaly that I'm not aware of. But if like all the bones healthy, everything's like it's designed to be, then yes, I would say you could heal that for sure.
That's cool because when like I told you, I knew you were coming on, so I googled common foot injuries in golf.
Right.
And you saw that. And you mentioned it briefly, too. You read down the list. There's heel pain. I'm not sure how to say this.
Metatarsalgia.
Yeah, that one there. Morton's.
Neuroma.
And these are all common to the same ailment. Although those ailments are from the same issues.
Right. Heel pain, calcaneus not moving, attachment with the Achilles to that. Could be the plantar fascia that's not inflamed, that's not moving like it's supposed to, causing that. Could be the bone in the front called your metatarsal. Metatarsal and calcaneus are very involved with movement of the foot that could cause the heel pain. The metatarsalgia, that's the inflammatory response. Martin's neuroma, and so this is of basically the bone. This is of the nerves.
Golfers to walk around the fairway. Who doesn't walk around the fairway?
Well, because that one feels you have like
the
neuroma, because it's around the nerve. It almost feels like there's a little pebble in your foot.
Yeah, when I had plantar fasciitis, I'd wake up in the morning and I go, "Oh, it's gone," and I'd get out of bed and I'd put my heel down, and it was like someone took a giant nail and just pounded it up my heel.
Yep, that's.
So you stretch it out and it gets better.
Well, I was going to say what Doc was saying. What helped me, I got the orthotics to lessen the impact during the day.
Right.
But what really helped me was I had a stretching routine that I still have to use to this day. If I don't do it, then I start feeling it.
Right.
I also changed, at the time, my wife was training for marathons, so I was doing up to 10 miles like a couple times a week with her running. I stopped running. I changed my exercising because the way that I'm built with my arches, just running it's just not conducive for me. It's not a good thing to do over and over and over. And I think, like you said earlier, it was that repeated motion. Like my stride is completely different with my flat arches, and it just doesn't, running on cement and stuff that's what agitated it. That's what brought it on.
Well, I think that's a good point.
What run around cement for?
They're running the streets.
talking about it's the foot's attached to the knee, to the hip, and that's where you really have to go back to look at the nerve supply, look at how the pelvis is, because if you start having foot pain, that's gonna require you to move your hips differently, and that's gonna lead into other elements that people are dealing with.
So you've got people out listening that have, your feet hurt, man, when you're playing, and there's these different ailments. Go see Doc McGaughey here. Go up to, it's in Atascadero. But you can help these people. There's tests and stuff. Are you gonna zap them with the laser like you did me?
I gotta be careful.
Yeah,
So our whole thing would have you strengthen your intrinsic muscles of the foot. We'd have you stretch out your calf, your plantar fasciitis. We'd use the laser to increase blood flow there. We'd make sure you're cleaning up your diet to make sure you're getting proper nutrition, blood flow down to the feet. And then what we do is we restore the proper nerve supply down to the feet. So everything's functioning like it's supposed to.
Is it?
Can I ask a question?
Okay.
Where did that come from? God?
Hi, Hop. Should have hit her. Hi, buddy.
Hey, how you doing?
God, is that you?
Yeah.
Whoa. It's all your Hop.
No, I just wanted to ask. Years ago, I had to deal with Morton's neuroma in my right foot, and it was so bad I couldn't even put weight down on it. But the treatment for it at that time was horrifying because it was the largest needle I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
they gave me a cortisone shot, like a steroid shot, right between the toes, and and they had to give me Novocaine before that to even deaden the pain there before they did that shot because
before a shot.
Oh, it's several shots before the shot, and then this
like
foot-long needle came out, and I was like, wait, and
wait, zap!
Yeah, and they did that. They don't do that anymore, I hope, right? From what I'm hearing, they do this more with a laser treatment.
Well, in our office we use the laser treatment. It's still very common to use cortisone, doing a cortisone shot.
Isn't that a Band-Aid?
Well, again, you're bringing up a good point. Like I'm all for orthotics, but I look at orthotics as a Band-Aid, right? I'm looking at cortisone shots as Band-Aids because that's not going to change what's happening, the biomechanics. It's decreasing inflammation, but the biomechanics of the foot or maybe the knee or the pelvis that are coordinating the function of the foot are incorrect, and so you're just going to keep having the problem over and over.
It could be hand in hand or foot in foot for this matter, because he couldn't move his foot to stretch it in the first place, so the cortisone can get it so he can move his foot to do the stretching, so one might need the other to function, right?
Absolutely, and that's why I talk about, we were looking at a holistic approach. We use the laser, knock down inflammation. We give anti-inflammatory creams. We give natural anti-inflammatories. So it's just
my feet hurt.
It's the approach that you want to take, but you have to strengthen those intrinsic muscles, stretch out that foot or feet, and make sure that the nerve supply and the pelvis and the knee and all the muscles that control that function down there are happening properly. If not, you'll start to see people walking around with a limp. You'll see them dragging their legs forward, and then it goes into head posture goes forward. I mean, it's amazing how important your feet are, and we take it for granted a lot of times.
Is it a coincidence that they're all named after Greek gods or Roman gods sounding things? Wait, what's the heel thing?
The calcaneus?
Yeah, wasn't he a god of some kind? And then there's a lot of them sound like Greek,
you're thinking about the Achilles.
Achilles.
There you go.
That is.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he was named after the muscle. I don't know. You mentioned food. Every time we've talked, you said diet. Every time we've talked about anything, hey, I got this little bruise here. My see this little freckle?
Yeah.
It's your diet, Billy.
Right.
Well, I know I'm kind of kidding, but I'm not. But you always go back to diet. How does diet help the blood flow to the feet?
Well, let's say you have neuropathy, you're beginning of neuropathy, so you have a blood sugar issue, right? Like say diabetes, you're not going to get oxygen to your feet. What happens if you're borderline anemic? You don't know it. You're not going to get oxygen to your feet as well. They're furthest away from the heart, right? Maybe you have a B12 deficiency. B12 helps with all neurologic function, and you have a Morton's neuroma. The nerves are inflamed, and you don't have enough B12 to help with the brain function. Yeah, Owen's over there getting texts from his friends.
It's like I needed to
and
tell
I
this
get a
joke
text
and get out of here.
Right, I get texts from my wife. When you go to the grocery store, like I don't know what's going on.
I did it. So it's the other. You get another ailment like diabetes, which stops the blood flow. So if you want to have, you need to have all this healthy stuff. That's probably why it's homeopathic. It's your whole body. It's right.
Yeah, always a holistic approach, because if you have an inflammatory response going on systemically, right? You got this inflammation in the bloodstream. And now you've injured your plantar fascia, since we've been talking about that, and that's inflamed. It just complicates it. That's why you give an anti-inflammatories, right? But what happens if you have a constant inflammatory response going on in the body, and we can help get rid of that? That's going to also help with the less immune response to the foot.
How's your Morton's thing doing now? You okay?
Oh yeah, that was years ago, and in along with the that treatment, I had to go through a little bit of physical therapy, but I've never had any a repeat problem with it.
And in my that's awesome. I'm glad. And Mike, in your situation, you have archless, right?
Yeah, they're flat.
Can
flat
that ever
feet.
be fixed? Can his arches? Can you? Oh, is he going to need those orthotics his whole life?
So,
is that the right word?
I always like these questions.
You know
give
what?
me.
Let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll come back.
Okay.
Because
studying,
we got to take a break.
It's my
That's a
job.
great question.
Okay.
Is it my job to answer
It is.
good questions?
It was great questions, dude. Golf Talk Radio with Mike
are
and
you
Billy.
learning anything, buddy?
We'll be
everything.
We'll be right back here. Don't forget, Golf Talk
I'm
Radio is
learning.
brought to you by Nikki Anderson, Realtor. Check out Nikki at 805-235-3327. You look in the list a house, sell a house, just questions about real estate. Also, Nikki has a great condominium out in Hawaii. You can book that condo right now at vrbo.com. Use listing number 614266. We'll be right back. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy.